Hello, this is World University and Schools News and Question and Answer on Monday, April 14th, 2025, newly at 11 a.m. Pacific Time, 2 p.m. Eastern Time, US and Canada. I think it's 11:30 p.m. India time, and it may be 2:30 p.m. or 2 a.m. in the morning the next day, Hong Kong, China time. As we wait to see if people will join this open WUAS news and question and answer, I'd like to share a little news with you, uh, and namely uh, that World University and School is glad to be uh, growing regarding potentially becoming a bright beacon on the information technology company's innovation growth horizon. And regarding both uh, sides of World University and School, one, the nonprofit MIT OCW centric Wiki World University and School wing for free WUAS degrees uh, for students in all 200 countries and in their main languages. And two, the WUAS Corporation Academic Press at WUAS, WUAS Educational Services Stores, planned in 7,159 known living languages with machine and human translation, and the physical digital WUAS Educational Services Stores for books, computers, robotics, groceries, hospital technologies, and think Walmart in 19 out of 200 countries, where WUAS plans to be in each of all 200 countries, physically and digitally, and in their main and official languages. So, in what way can we become a uh, information technology companies, tech companies, innovation growth horizon, become a beacon on uh, possibly investors or possibly uh, cultures of students, prospective students, regarding growing World University and School. So, um, World University and School is also growing with hashtag grow with Google WUAS for free to students online degrees, bachelor, PhD, law, MD, IB high school, or similar, and AAAS and master's degrees. First in English, then in each of all 200 countries and in their main languages. And see Peter Norvig's incredible hashtag Tulify AI WUAS uh, article titled Revolutionizing Education with Machine Learning and AI. World University in School, hashtag World University in School. Hashtag refers to Twitter hashtags. And the article is at tulify.ai, titled Revolutionizing Education with Machine Learning and AI, and it was updated on March 2nd, 2024. So all the best abolitionally, friendly greetings, and further, agenda item 0 on the first wing of World University and School, the first of two WUAS wings, 501c3 or similar World University and School wing for CC4 licensed ocw.mit.edu centric wiki World University and School degrees. And as we seek to hire potentially 2.5 million people on both wings over the next 50 to 100 years. Agenda item 0, regarding the recording of the Monday, April 7th, 2025, open at World Univ and SCH at WUS Press, hashtag WUS News and Question and Answer and QA, and regarding a realistic virtual Earth for genetics, and also the WUS Corporation, hashtag WUS Corp, is posted. And check out these video minutes, if you will. And they're in two blog posts in both blogs for World University and School at worlduniversityandschool.blogspot.com and scott-mccloud.blogspot.com from last Monday, April 7th, 2025. The blog posts begin Boggs Mountain Demonstration State Forest. Agenda item 1. I attended a very fascinating day-long conference at Stanford University last Wednesday, April 9th, 2025. UN AI for Good Conference, United Nations Artificial Intelligence for Good Conference. So regarding the first panel on responsible AI, governance and use, was very interesting that Kim van Sparentek was there as one of the 3 panelists, who is from the Netherlands and in the Green Party. Green Party is very different in Europe than compared with the US, and a politician in it, a leader in some ways, a leader who has access to the European Union process, as well as Dutch political process, in a way that's also probably very different from United States process regarding our 50 states and how our political system works. The moderator of the panel was Ashley Carr. She has a Harvard Law degree and is an attorney at DLA Piper, which law firm, I think, in 40 out of about 200 countries, was, I think, sponsoring this DLA, this Stanford Law School UN AI for Good conference. And one of the concerns that I had, and I also asked into the microphone, this panel, was twofold. First, afterward, I spoke with these 4 women about technological determinism and regarding how we might respond to the idea or the possibilities that information technologies are causing change in world, in society, and regarding how we might respond to the processes of information technological influences in our lives, all peoples in all 200 countries, potentially, regarding the United Nations, for example, and AI. And that co-constitutionality, that we can do things about this, about the influences, the pervasive and far-reaching influences that technologies have in our lives, and regarding potentially a book by Manuel Castells that was published, 2nd edition in 2015, Networks of Outrage and Hope. The other question I asked from the microphone in the middle of their panel, or in the Q&A of their panel, was regarding how World University and School might be able to help address some of the issues that they were talking about, and potentially in World University and School seeking to be in all 200 countries in their main languages, and even for speakers of all 7,159 known living languages, and also in World University and School seeking to code for all 7.9 billion people on the planet, and potentially also in growing an abolition movement at World University and School, for example, to abolish the wrongful buying and selling of people in the illegal sex, drugs, violence, etc. Industries internationally, and their latent networks of violence. So organized crime internationally, as we code for potentially speakers of all 7,000 languages, most of all 7.9 billion people on the planet, and even not only to end poverty with something like Stanford Mind Pi cryptocurrency, distributing this to many or most of the people on the planet at World University and School, and we have a partnering email at WUS with Stanford MindPy, but also potentially for avatar agent electronic health records. So electronic health records for all 7.9 billion people on the planet, and potentially also, and this is something I talked with John Gibson, another lawyer at DLA Piper, who is a UN counsel, a UN lawyer at DLA Piper, regarding the possibility that with genetic engineering drug therapies for aging reversal and extreme longevity, that we might all live longer than 122 years of age, the upper known documented age for people, and that this might play out in electronic health records, in avatar agent electronic health records. So hoping to carry on this conversation with Kim Van Sparentak and Ashley Carr and the other panelists at DLA Piper to some degree, and in other areas regarding responsible AI governance. Agenda item 2. I also emailed afterward John Gibson, the UN counsel at DLA Piper, maybe one of many, regarding how could Stanford MindPy cryptocurrency and with AI for good, artificial intelligence for good, for most of all 7.9 billion people on the planet, in all 200 nation states, and the nation states wiki subject page is where the 200 major MIT OCW-centric World University and School universities will emerge from, could, and for free WUS degrees, help end poverty and create free universal education among speakers of all 7,159 known living languages. So the URL for free Money Daily, Stanford Mind Cryptocurrency, is mindpy.com /SGKMAC, and you can begin to get this free Money Daily on your own smartphone with that, using that invitation code SGKMAC, and potentially World University and School would seek further to grow, potentially with the United Nations and United Nations artificial intelligence, as we develop our 200 online universities with artificial intelligence and machine learning as well. And further in these regards, with John Gibson, another email. Great to talk with you at some length at lunch on Wednesday, April 9th, 2024, at the Stanford Law School Codex UN AI for Good conference, and regarding MIT OCW-centric Wiki World University and School WUAS development too. Do you know Sid Pin Mazumdar in the US federal government's HHS, Health and Human Services, who also graduated in economics from Harvard in 1982 and was my best friend in high school in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania in the second half of the 1970s, because John Gibson also graduated in 1982 in economics from Harvard College. And thanks for your inspiring and visionary concluding talk, especially John Gibson. And thanks to all the DLA Piper lawyers and presenters for your great contributions. And greetings to Sanilia Fontaine in Geneva, Switzerland, who gave the opening introduction via a live stream. I think she was in Geneva, Switzerland, where the UNAI for Good conference was mostly on the ground physically at Stanford Law School. So how could WUS, seeking to develop 250 plus online law schools in all